Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I am honored to introduce the creator of Tell Us Your Story with Dr. Ebony. I first had the privilege of meeting Dr. Ebony before she was doctor, and she was the director of Keeping Every Youth Safe, which was the KEYS program in our community. I drove the church bus for the students and took them to swim lessons. So I'm excited to be here with Ebony today, and we welcome all of you too.
Thank you so much, Shannon. Great to be here.
Absolutely. So Dr. Ebony, tell us a little bit about yourself. Have you been a lifelong resident of Lexington?
I have been, but I've also had the opportunity to live in Florida for a while and work for the Mouse. I work for Disney. So
fantastic. I know that was an exciting opportunity for sure. That's awesome.
Definitely.
Now, what is your family makeup?
Oh boy, my family makeup right now is me as a single mom, a divorced single mom with two daughters, a teenage daughter and an elementary age daughter.
Bless you, my child. Yes.
Not to mention the extended family attached to that as well. So
there you go. All right. So how about your educational background?
Well, I'm a graduate of Lexington High School, class of 98. Woo, woo. And from there, I basically went on a college tour. So with my college tour, my mom, of course, did not like this.
Understand.
But I went to Benedict for a while, and then I decided to go to Tech. Well, I went to USC first, went to Tech, got my degree from Tech, my associate's degree. Then I decided to go to Springfield College. I received a call while I was working at Disney saying that Springfield College was opening a campus in Charleston. So I decided to go there. So I finished up my bachelor's and master's degree at Springfield College. And then I went on and got crazy and decided I wanted to start my doctorate. And so I did that through Walden University online. And that had its own challenges. And but it was great. I mean, I had a great experience. I met a lot of new people, a lot of new connections. So I'm glad I had that experience, and all the others too.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. You take that variety and all the people that you met with you in your daily life. I know that's really neat. All right. Dr. Ebony, what do you prefer to be called? African-American, Black, person of color?
I personally prefer to be called Black. And the reason that is simply because I have such a mix in my family. I have Creole, Native American, and of course, African. But it seems like the Creole and Native American are actually closer, believe it or not, than a lot of the African roots. So it's very interesting, but again, I prefer Black, but person of color is fine. I think that covers a lot of different individuals with a lot of different ethnic backgrounds.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So how did Tell Us Your Story with Dr. Ebony begin?
Woo, okay. So it it was kind of a combination of reasons and events that occurred. One thing is I joined this wonderful church, St. Stephen's, and in the process of joining, and of course, going to the different services and everything, just making up my mind whether or not I wanted to join with me and my girls. Of course, realizing that, hey, me and my girls are only people that kind of look like us that's hanging around here. so that's a little bit of a reason. And then, of course, last summer with everything that happened with George Floyd Jr., and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, and all of that kind of, people call it racial injustice, but I prefer ethnic injustice because we're all one race. We're the human race. And so with all of that, it kind of festered in a way. And at the church, we would have a weekly meeting. on Fridays, just kind of check in through Zoom because of course COVID was also going at the same time. So we had weekly check-ins, and with the weekly check-ins, it just kind of, I don't know. I don't normally share like I did that Friday, but you know, my heart was just heavy and I couldn't hold it. And you know that there was an elephant in the room. Of course, being the only person of color on the call, you know, I could tell somebody wanted to say something, but they didn't know exactly how to. And it just so happened when that was laid on my heart, and I just let the floodgates open and told my story. From that, I was able to kind of start a little dialogue at the church. And from that, I put together a series called Ask a Black Woman, which I had to change the name of because I don't want to get sued. So it's now currently Ask a Black PhD. And, you know, it really talked about the social injustice and really systemic racism that in an institution that people won't even think about racism or ethnic injustice being in. But, you know, I put the human side to it so that you can feel, you know, hey, no matter what, we're all humans, we're all in this together. And, you know, also you learn something new, and it doesn't matter what color you are, what ethnic background you are, you're going to learn something from it. So the church was really open to hearing that story and helping me promote that message. And from that, I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to take this to the next level. I think we can reach more people. How are we going to do this? Well, by using the technology we've been forced to use over the past year. So, so, you know, no matter where you are, if you're with a group of people, if you're by yourself and you just want to look at something different and learn something a little bit new, you can tune into this series and hopefully you will learn something new.
Absolutely. So it kind of sounds like the goal of your series is to promote education, to equip people with knowledge.
Yes, yes, definitely. And not just what they assume knowledge or what they heard knowledge. Because of course, as we know, a lot of people, we like to, well, my mama told me, or my daddy said, or my granddaddy, you know, especially here in the South, we hear that a lot. So, you know, this would take you out of that. Well, this is what I heard from so-and-so, but you get to hear it from an actual person that's living it and going through the experience. You may not agree with some of the things that they say, but that's fine. You still get to hear their point of view and you're listening to them, and hopefully you'll listen to the entire message. And, you know, it may not change your mind, but at least you'll be more educated.
Exactly. And as we all know, knowledge is very powerful, and hearing it from that firsthand perspective is crucial. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Now, I know you mentioned that you joined St. Stephen's Lutheran Church. Is this series just for the Lutheran denomination, or is this for everybody and anybody who wants to learn?
This is for everybody and anybody that wants to learn. I'm also an educator, and that's how I use my PhD also. So, you know, I want my students to learn, and what I've learned as an instructor, because I'm not a professor, just throwing that out there. I don't profess anything. But, you know, I tell my students, I'm like, hey, don't you know about so-and-so? And a lot of them have no clue. Mm-hmm. They've never had that experience. And of course, being in the South, you are segregated. Even though we're no longer segregated, we still are.
Right.
So we are not exposed to a lot of things, or, you know, and again, it's not because we're bad people. It's just that these are just the communities and the friends that we've kind of built up, and that's what we're used to.
Absolutely. So what should we all know about Tell Us Your Story before we watch the first conversation of the 15 conversation series?
Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Well, let's start with the obvious. You're going to see my look change throughout the series. You're going to see me with a fro. You're going to see me with straight hair. You might see me with twists. You might see me however. So I just like to change things up. So that's one thing you'll notice. I also want you to realize my makeup is going to be different because my daughter, my youngest daughter, who's in elementary school, she's interested in becoming a makeup artist.
Oh,
So I let her do my makeup. So she did this for me today. And
well, she did a beautiful job.
well, thank you very much. I'll be sure to let her know that.
Yes.
So, I'm letting her do this, and then my oldest daughter, she's interested in editing, so she will be editing these individual episodes for the series. So, I'm excited to kind of expose them
Yes.
to something that they may have as a future career, or maybe a side career to get them to their career. So if my makeup's looking a hot mess, or if the editing's not perfect, just realize you have an elementary school student and a high schooler doing it, okay?
There you go. It's all about family. It's all about
Right.
family.
It's all about family, and anywhere you can have those educational moments, let's do it.
Yes, for sure. For
And
sure.
also, another thing that is great about this episode is the fact that it's actually funded through a grant through the South Carolina Synod, and we received a $500 grant. And so this is actually a production for them. I was going to do it anyway, but of course, to have some funds to kind of help back it up also helps.
Absolutely. Well, that's magnificent. It's fantastic that they've kind of stepped up and contributed and helped you in this process. Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. So I know I said there's 15 episodes. Would you like to continue on beyond those 15 episodes?
Oh, I would love to. I love running my mouth. And if I have a reason behind running my mouth, Shannon's laughing because she knows it's true. If I have a reason to run my mouth, of course I want to run my mouth more than 15 times and talk to more
You
than
have a lot to say. It's okay.
and a lot to learn, because you learn
Yeah.
something new every single day. So
We all have a lot to learn. That's exactly right. So how would you be able to go on past the 15 episodes?
what I hope will happen is that anybody that watches this series would message me and say, hey, I know this person
Oh,
who, X, Y, and Z. You may want to contact them and see if they're interested in being interviewed. And, just give me a little summary about the individual and why you think they would be excellent for this series. So I hope it goes word of mouth like that. And also, I hope that individuals may see it and be like, hey, I would be perfect. I need to tell my story. Because, too often we hear celebrities tell their stories, which is great. But how does that relate to me as the average person?
right. Right. Dr. Ebony, where will we be able to find this series?
This series will be on YouTube.
Oh,
My
fantastic.
channel is Dr. Ebony Productions. So you'll be able to find that. And then if you happen to be a member of St. Stephen's, once everything is up and edited and running, the link will be sent out to local churches as well as the state
Awesome.
synod and the regional and anywhere else we can think of to send it.
Super. That's awesome. All right. All right. Well, so going back to your interviews, you do ask your guests about their music choices. Why is that?
Well, okay, I guess it goes back to the fact that my mom's a music teacher.
Okay.
And then music was in our household the entire time, not only because she was a music teacher, but she had younger sisters. And so they were in college when I was born. So they were my babysitters.
Oh,
So of course, like music was around, like Soul Train, and
sure.
Solid Gold was about to go out, but I remember watching that too. So we always had music, and of course they could play piano, and I had an aunt that played piano and trombone. And I mean, so we had, and I played violin, and I tried to play trombone too, and I played piano. So we've had a musical background, so I have a connection with music. And from that connection, I also learned that through the arts, period, we've all been touched by an art, some shape, form, or fashion. More commonly is music, because of course we have radios in our car. We have radios on the computer, anywhere, on the phone, whatever. We can always play music. So that's why it's a common thread.
Well, and for those of you that don't know Dr. Ebony as well as I know her, she also has an incredible voice. So
thank you, Shane.
yeah, that is definitely a musical instrument that we benefit from. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes.
So speaking of songs and singing, what is your favorite song that represents you?
Ooh, oh my goodness. Okay. I would have to say Elton John's I'm Still Standing.
Yes. I can totally agree with that. I can totally agree. Yes, yes. So along with that, what song do you believe best represents your upbringing?
Ooh. I think this has been the hardest question for me.
Okay.
And I think it would probably be, what is it, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Wake Up, Everybody. I think that's the name of the song. I don't know. I just happened to hear it yesterday and I was like, you know what? I forgot all about this song, but it's perfect. With the family I live in, you had to be socially aware and politically aware. So I think that would be a good representation.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that song, so I'm going to have to go listen to it.
Yes.
All right. Well, Dr. Ebony, is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
I just hope that you all will enjoy this series. And again, just remember, this is a labor of love. This is not something that I take lightly. I do take my time and research my guests and the issues they would like to speak about. And I just hope that you can learn something new, so come in, watch this with an open mind and an open heart. And, hopefully you can use this in your everyday life to become a better social, awakened person.
And simply a better human being, because all of us can work on that.
That is true. So true.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Dr. Ebony, I just want to thank you for your time, for putting this together. Telling us your story is going to be a very powerful tool for a lot of people to grow from. And so thank you for allowing me to be a part of this, but thank you for putting this together and just being the person that you are.
Oh, thank you so much, Shannon. And also thank you for introducing me for our series.
Absolutely.
So to all of you, thank you for watching. Take care, and may there be peace, love, understanding, and social justice for all. Thank you.